That's honestly a big reason I don't stream anymore. I just don't have the time I used to, and the time I have now, I want to not stress about stream BS. No, I get that. I mean, for me personally, I had to pivot my mindset, you know, because streaming has been prior. It felt like a chore, you know. But now, ever since I've attempted to shift my attitude in terms of like, well, you know, I'm just here to have fun, you know, let me not worry too much about the metrics and how good of a production my stream is.
We got the lead. Now hold.
Which, you know, which is easy to say to some degree. But, you know, I try to maintain that mindset where like the priority is more so like hanging out with you guys as opposed to streaming for you guys, you know, because I want that same atmosphere that used to be back in the days where you know, you'll just be chilling in the house and playing your games, and then your friends will come over and either they will play with you or just like watch you play. You know, that's the type of dynamic I want from my stream. So and that's the type of atmosphere. So, you know, that's why I had to kind of like pivot my mindset. And you know, the goal is absolutely to make it something bigger, because you know, my dream is to maybe one day do this full time, you know. But I think the most important part is having fun, you know, not getting, which is, and this is what I'm gonna say is easier said than done, but not getting hung up over stuff not working, because that just comes with technology. You know, not getting worked up over not having a certain amount of viewers after all this time, and like the focus is, all right, you know, all right, I got 2 viewers right now, awesome, that's cool. Focus on those 2 viewers and give them the best goddamn time they ever had, you know? Show them that they matter just as much as having 50, 60, 70 viewers. Because again, everybody's time is the same in terms of like how it spends, right? So like that minute that just went by, you're not getting it back. That hour that just went by, you're not getting it back. That day that just went by, you're not getting it back. So for you to invest that, knowing how it expends, I feel like streamers need to understand that we shouldn't take their time lightly, you know? Like streamers shouldn't feel entitled that people should be watching their streams. So that's pretty much my take on it. So I'm trying to enjoy the journey as opposed to being fixated on the outcome. If that kind of sort of makes any sense. Because unfortunately, I'm not the biggest tech-savvy person fan, so something just breaks, blah blah blah, and that's understandable. And that, like, I would say, definitely tech-savvy, and things are always breaking on my end too. So it really doesn't matter, you know. But again, this is no pressure. It's entirely up to like, what do you want to do, you know? You know, I just think honestly, you know, and you know, honestly, no bullshitting you. Like, I think you and Kong brings like a great personality to streams. Like, I think you guys are hilarious. You guys, you know, are really awesome and whatnot. And when y'all were streaming, like, I feel as though like the people really really genuinely came there for you guys. And I think it's also out of my own personal like curiosities to like see how far you guys would go in that, like in the streaming sphere, because like you guys are amazing. Like y'all be killing it, you know. But again, if it's not in the cards for you guys, then that's completely understandable. One of the things I've learned while, you know, attending college and whatnot is that people are not going to always want to do what you like. You know what I'm saying? And stop trying to, for lack of a better word, force people to do things that you like. Like, you know, being insistent. Like, come on, try out this, come to this party with me. Like, nah, I'm not a party person. Like, nah, come on, I think you'll like it. Have you ever went? No. Give it a shot. You know, stuff like that. Like, when people say no, they don't want to do things, let it be. That's the type of thing I can do. The type of mindset I came to, you know? I'm winding down, chilling with my friends, and enjoying bomb-ass company. Okay. I do strongly dislike when people aren't considerate of the 1 to 4 people watching. Like, yeah, okay, you want more, but I'm here supporting, so what does that make me, chop liver? Ungrateful schmuck. Well, you know what it is? I think, well, I can't speak for everyone, to all streamers. But I think for some of them, they are absolutely appreciative, but it's like, I think in their mindset, they are banking on this being successful. And just 1 to 4 streamers, 1 to 4 viewers isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? So they're so fixated on the end result. It's like, damn it, I only got 4 viewers, you know, and all these other people, they have like 60, 70, and they're making a career out of this, and this is what I really, really, really want. But you gotta also understand, they have to have this mindset in which that, to understand, like, those are 4 viewers those are 4 viewers more than what you had before. You know what I'm saying? And then they're consistent. And numbers isn't everything, because not for nothing, those 60, 70 viewers, not all of them are subscribing, not all of them are buying your merch, not all of them are watching your videos, not all of them are donating. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you get, you have like maybe 20 people in your streams, and they're consistent, and they're diehard like supporters. Let's say they donate $5 and they subscribe. You know, $5, that's $100 you just made out of a donation. You know what I'm saying? So like, people need to understand that yes, there is a strength in numbers, but you also have to consider the quality of the people that's watching your stuff.
We got the lead. Now hold it.
Because there's just a lot of people that do come in and they watch, and the numbers are there. However, they're not engaging, which, you know, not trying to shit on my lurkers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, absolutely. You guys are definitely a cornerstone of the following as well. But there are times where, like, if you have people who are not engaging, you start to get in your head like, damn, I guess they really don't like my content. They you know, they're not enjoying it or whatever. Maybe I'm just not engaging enough or whatnot. But that's not always the case. You know, that's not the case, because they wouldn't be wasting their time watching you. And they wouldn't waste their time watching you when they could be watching someone more entertaining. So, you know, we have to embrace all aspects of the viewer, no matter how many or how they interact. Because I've seen it. Some people would legitimately complain about people not talking in their stream, and it's like, yo, you don't know what these people are doing. They got responsibilities just as much as you do. They're probably, you know, hanging out with family while tuning into your stream. They're probably playing their own games. They're probably working on homework or projects and stuff. So they, you know, they're here for, like, maybe not just your your gameplay, but they're also here for like the conversations that you're having. Like maybe they come to your stream to listen to what you have to say, because what you say is very thought-provoking and inspirational and stuff like that. Some people could just be having a real bad day at work, and they come to your streams and you could just change their mood, you know, out of nowhere, because of the type of energy that you bring to your streams and the positivity and just all of that. So there's a mixed bag of everything when it comes to streaming. You know what I'm saying? You know, just my take. I don't know if I sound kind of like crazy or whatnot. But, you know, TLDR, like, people who stream need to embrace everyone, whether it's 4 people or 40 people. You know, like right now, you know, I'm looking at my views right now, and it says I have only 2, so I'm guessing it's like you and D Money. It was 3 when Cat was here, you know. But like, that don't mean anything. Like, I got 2, you know, strong supporters who come in here on a regular basis, says what up. We, you know, we built a friendship. We interact with each other, not just on stream, but like off stream as well, and we engage with one another. We share ideas. We, you know, we legitimately hang out, and it gives that atmosphere. Like, you know, if we were in close proximity, if we all were like in the same state, we'd probably be like, not probably, we definitely would be hanging out. You know, we'd absolutely be hanging out like, hey, what are you doing today? Like, nada, just chilling. It's like, oh, you want to do something? It's like, yeah, sure. And then instead of that dynamic that we have virtually and on stream, we would have that in person. So, like, you know, I mean, that's what I look at it like, you know? Which in the back of your mind is understandable, I guess. But to openly complain how no one watches and this is a pointless blah blah, that's just so rude. It is. But I would say don't take it as being rude. Like some people, yes, absolutely. Some people are malicious, right? Some people are like, they have this sense of entitlement where like they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. So they feel as though like, oh, you see, within my space, I'm funny. People like watching me game, you know. They love interacting with me. So they think that translates on a grander scale. You know, like, just because you're playing Street Fighter in your local community, you're the big bad, like you're the champion there, does not mean that if you go to EVO, you're guaranteed to be champion. So they need to like translate that to like, okay, well, just because people like me in person, the people that I've been with that I've known for so many years, does not mean that the people that I'm streaming for is going to enjoy me in that same vein. Because at the end of the day, there's different variables, there's different things that come into play. Those people have known you for years. Those people have been in close proximity with you. So chances are, because most friendships occur due to the fact that people are in close proximity. Like, most of my friends came from schools and work. You know what I'm saying? Schools and work. And that's typically how it works for everybody. Everybody who's in close proximity of one another tend to make their friends that way because they're close together. But it's much different. I was an idiot. I got greedy there. But it's much different when it comes to dealing with people who don't know you. You have to sell yourself a little more. You have to be a little more engaging, a little more. You have to exude a little more of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because these people don't know you from a hole in the wall. Like, they're like, okay, well, you're streaming. Okay. But who the hell are you? And then chances are, they most likely pick your stream at first glance because you're probably playing a game that they're interested in or that they thoroughly enjoy. It's like, ooh, this person's playing Call of Duty. I actually like this game. Let me see how good he is. Let me see if I can learn anything from him. Oh shit, this dude is playing Kingdom Hearts. Yo, I'm a die-hard fan of Kingdom Hearts. Let me just see what his thoughts are about it. You know, it's kind of like if I had to equate it to a job, the game that you're playing when it comes to viewers is like the resume. And then when they jump into your stream, that's the interview where they determine like, yo, am I going to stick around for this person? Am I going to stick around for this guy? You know, who is he? Who is he exactly? You know, he has a good resume because I like the game that he's playing. You know, but let me see who he is as a person. You know, because people tend, according to like what I see, anecdotally, is that people stay on your streams because they like who you are as a person.
This mission's a bust. We need exfil.
Yeah, they like who you are as a person. They vibe with you. You know, they like your thoughts on like the gaming sphere and certain takes on like games that you play, things like that. Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah, I equate that to gaming, D-Money, and I also equate that same analogy to like relationships, like when you meet a person or whatever. Like, let's say a girl likes you or whatever. You know, your aesthetic is your resume, because that's what they initially see. And then when you go on a date and y'all get to know each other, that's the interview. You know what I'm saying? Like I always equate like the surface level thing of an aspect of a conversation or of a situation. I always make that surface level thing the resume. And then when things get into more depth, that's the interview. So like in this case, it's like, okay, the game you're playing is the resume because that's what the viewers initially see before jumping into your stream. And then when they, you know, then the interview is like, okay, how is he in the game? How is he with his viewers? Is he entertaining? Is he good at the game that he plays? Is he knowledgeable? Is he funny? You know, so yeah, you know, that's like my take on it, honestly. And you know, I can also be at fault as well. When I first started, I had that mindset, and I guess that's why I understand that side of the fence, because it's like I thought that, yo, I'm super funny. People like when I game, they gravitate towards me. But that's such a fish in the pond mentality. When you stream, you're in an ocean, you know. Before, you know, I'm just a goldfish swimming with other goldfish. But now I'm in the ocean, so there's sharks there. There's freaking like whales. There's like jellyfish. There's a whole slew of different aquatic life that I have to engage with.
Now hold it.
It's you know, yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think that's what it is. Some people are just frustrated that they're not getting the results that they want to get, but it's a slow burn, man. It's a slow burn from what I realized, and like I'm gonna continue to do what I've been doing. I'm going to continue to appreciate the viewers, whether it's 2 or 20 or whatever, and I'm gonna continue to grind, and hopefully it becomes bigger. You know, hopefully the platform becomes bigger so I can do a lot more.
Come on, you're losing this fight.
But in the you know, likelihood that it, you know, well, let me not say likelihood, that sounds negative, but you know, if it doesn't, at least I know I walked away with something. You know, I've met phenomenal people. I met you, D-Money. I met Kitten. I met, you know, Felix. You know, I'm a part of a whole team, Terminal Velocity. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be to be recruited by someone. It's like I never had that in my mind, you know. I can't imagine what it feels like to be sponsored. Like, imagine getting a sponsorship with like a company that you idolize, like Elgato or something, or like imagine Alienware or whatever, or Secret Labs, you know. Like, I haven't experienced that yet, but I've experienced meeting such wonderful people, and you know, people who got my back. You know, there are probably, you know, some individuals, and we all have them, who we know in real life, who don't have our best interests at heart. They don't. They just come into our lives to see what we're doing, to, you know, make sure that we're not doing better than them, and then they keep it pushing. And then they come in the form of pretending to be someone who cares about us, when in reality they don't. But but you know, here I've built genuine relationships with people, and that's awesome. That's phenomenal. That's a big takeaway. If if things don't go the way I initially wanted them to go, that's a huge takeaway. Yeah, it's super dope. I think the main point is having fun, enjoying it, because whether or not you make it big, it's only worth it if you're enjoying it. Exactly. Exactly. Because then, if you don't enjoy it, it becomes nothing more than a job. And as far as I know, a lot of people hate their job. They just do it to sustain themselves. And I definitely don't want that in terms of streaming. Absolutely don't want that in terms of streaming. You know? Because gaming is a hobby that I've always had and I always loved. It was always something that I was good at, and at least I think I'm good at, and I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, it allows me to escape from reality, whatever troubles I may be having. It provides a safe space for me to be myself and nerd out, and you know, Twitch provides the platform in order for me to not only be myself and nerd out, but also do it with like-minded individuals, you know? Even though there are some instances where people are a bit different, and that's fine. You can be different, because I don't expect everybody to have the same perspective as I do when it comes to, like, games and stuff like that. However, the epicenter of all of us coming together is the video games themselves. You know, like, kind of like those web diagrams that we used to make in school, and like, you know, everything just branches off of it. Like, games are the, like, nerd culture is like the middle of that. So, you know, true. Agreed. Yeah, you know, like, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I just hope that, you know, these streamers, especially, you know, the ones who are like big, I just hope they don't take their viewers lightly, you know, because their viewers are who make them who they are, and who made them who they are. And then also to see, like, you know, to see myself come a long way. Initially, at first, it's like I didn't see it. It's kind of like, you know, when you're on a journey, like a weight loss journey, you don't see the improvement that you've made because you're trapped in your own body. But people outside of that, they see it. They see the growth and whatnot. Like, a perfect example would be when I first initially started streaming. Like, it was hard for me to multitask in terms of, like, reading the chat, playing the game, and also, like, coming up with coherent responses and whatnot. And now I seem to do that a bit more seamlessly, depending upon the game, of course, because some games are very intensive. And a lot of people would tell me, like, Kong, Kitten, you guys would tell me, like, yo, you made a big improvement. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think I made a big improvement. But then when I watch the VODs and I look back, it's like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe the quality of the stream did go up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited of all the things that I'm taking away from streaming. You know, again, meeting new people, building, you know, friendships and relationships and whatnot, as well as building my own character. I think those are like phenomenal takeaways for someone who may or may not make it in this streaming sphere. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, and for anyone that's like tuning in and that's like lurking and whatnot, and they're also streamers, like I feel as though, like, yes, please, I implore you guys to absolutely appreciate every viewer that you encounter, because without them, that's one less viewer that's supporting you. So, you know, if you have 100 and one isn't, that's 99. If you have 5 and you're not appreciating one, that's I mean, and 5 minus 4, that's 1. You know,
we're pulling ahead.
Actually, I have to say 5 minus 1, that's 4. And then imagine somebody who has only 1 viewer and not appreciating them. That's 0, you know? The potential 0. So, yeah. And another thing too is like raids, guys. Also raids. You know, it's great to have a lot of people come in. You get like a 30, 40, 50 raid coming in or whatnot. That's perfectly fine. That's awesome. That's great. But let's give the same energy to the people who are raiding with 4 or 5, as opposed to the 40 and 50. Because honestly, the 4 or 5 are probably going to be 9 times out of 10 way more engaging than the 40 or 50. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much my whole deal with that. Embrace everyone, no matter how much the numbers are. And then I also have to add too, this is another thing. The more viewers you have, the less connections you potentially lose out on. You know what I'm saying? What was I gonna say? Yeah, the more viewers you have, the harder it is for you to build those bonds. And also, like, you know, just look at the conversations that are had in the during the streams. Like, the streamer can't read every single thing, you know, at that given time. So those connections tend to like dwindle a little bit. That is true. Sherbert is insanely good at it, and it impresses me. He genuinely remembers so many people, and I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I think you can. I think, you know, I think it's possible if you care about your viewers. You know what I'm saying? Cause okay, like for me, like not trying to toot my own horn or whatever, but like sometimes I don't even remember what I had for like lunch yesterday. You know, like my short-term memory is absolute trash. But you know, I remember that Isker plays pool. You know, he does tournaments with pool. I remember that Play, you know, has a kid and he works like several jobs and whatnot, and you know, he comes through from time to time. You know, I remember that you do the glass making stuff and whatnot. You know, Kitten, who used to do like testing for like games and whatnot. You know, just like I remember all these different things. So you know, I think it's due to the dynamic of the relationships that we have, like the fact that we speak to each other to get to know one another, not to like just not just from formalities. It's like, oh, I genuinely want to know what's up with this guy. What does he like to do, or what's up with this girl? What does she like to do? You know. And then we don't only just do it on stream. We do it off stream as well. You know, there's been plenty of times where you came on the Discord and you was like, yo, I think you should check this game out. It's free or whatnot. Or there'll be plenty of times where I see something cool on your Instagram and I'm like, oh, yo, this is dope. This is nice. And I'll either like or comment. So, you know, we do things outside of the streams as well. So it's pretty, you know, it's awesome. It's really awesome. It's an awesome takeaway if I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's been that long. The homies just make it easy, to be honest. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, it's great that you have a strong support system. You know, I don't really have, like, when it comes to like people within my circle, they're a strong support system in other ways, but when it comes to like streaming, not so much. Like there's a few of them that will come around from time to time. Like, you know, you have Kong, you have Telly, who I know like personally, and you, of course, Sweet Like Honey.
MTC's in the red.
And then you also have like who comes periodically. You have Crown that comes in. You know, but that's and I'm sorry. What is I forgot his name on here. Damn, I can't believe I forgot his name. I forgot what he made his name to. Oh my goodness. But basically, there's another person here that comes in periodically as well to check in on your boy and make sure that I'm good or whatever. So, you know, and again, this is not to complain. It is what it is. Like, this is not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody's going to be like, oh, well, you're streaming, so I'm going to join you. Because people support you in many different ways. So that's not really a problem. But to have like a mass of people, way more than like maybe 10, 15 or whatever, that's pretty good. That's solid. But I do know this for certain though. This is where it's gonna get a little crazy. And I'm gonna speak it into existence because I really want this to happen. Like, I really want my success to happen. So I'm gonna say when it does happen, I know that there's gonna be some people, because with being successful in streams, you're gonna end up being front and center for certain social media platforms. A lot of people are gonna know you and things like that. It just sucks that what's associated with that is like when you do get big, is that the people that are in your inner circle, when they weren't supporting you, that's when they want to decide to start supporting you. And that's the part that's really sucky. That's the part where it's like, wow, like you couldn't help me when I was starting, but now that I'm established, you want to join in on like the success. Like you want to start like, you know, like here's a perfect example. When I when I used to post things on social media, which I need to start doing. I need to start posting more on social media about like when I'm streaming and like clips of my game or whatever, my gameplay or stream. People will just gloss over it like it's nothing. No interaction, no engagement whatsoever. You know, and that's their prerogative. That's perfectly fine. But what I do know what's going to happen is that when I do get big and like people are like, holy shit, this is, oh my god, it's esoteric skills. You know, that's when people are gonna start, like, when I post, they're gonna start engaging as if they've always been doing it before. And it's like, nah. That's where, you know, shit don't work like that.
He died.
Yeah, fake fans. Exactly, fake fans. The people that did not give a damn about you when you first started, that's when you really needed the push for people to support you and promote you. And then now that you found a way to kind of do what was needed to become successful, now here they are like, yeah, oh, I've always believed in you, you're doing a bang up job, blah blah blah. It's like, yo, check out my dude, Esoteric skills, he's killing it on Twitch, yada yada yada. It's like, bruh, you never even watched not one Twitch stream. Like, what are you doing? Now all of a sudden you want to act like you're interested in my streams?
What the hell was that?
It's like, no way, no way. Like, we're not doing that. Kind of like the meme from Black Panther. It's like, no, we don't do that yet.